So now we're going to go where everybody say I'm not willing to go. We're going to go into Matthew's now. We're going to go into the gospel. And we're going to see now with everything that I've said up to this point, it should give you a better perspective. You guys with your Western mindset. And if you're at this point of the video, you need to go back and see what I said earlier so you can understand what putting away is. Because I didn't want to go straight to putting away without first establishing the law. I got to show you what the law says. I have to show you what Yah thinks. I got to show you what Jesus said that his meat is. This is it now. So now when we read this, now I'm coming at this, say, okay, I know how this thing works. Okay, putting away. I know because I know the law. So let's go. Let's go to Matthew chapter 5. Verse 31, 32. Read.
It hath been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement.
Makes perfect sense. From everything we've read so far, that makes and that's coming, and they're quoting Jesus. If Jesus said, I can see Jesus saying that. Why? Because Jesus think that I've come to change the law. Jesus said this is his meat. He says, man does not live on bread alone, but on every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah. So this sounds like something Jesus says. Whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. That makes perfect sense. Anybody that keeps the commandments of Yah, that knows the law of Yah, that will make perfect sense. Yep, we even know the steps. Okay, yeah, bill of divorce, put it in her hands, send her out. Yep, we get it. We get it. Read.
But I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causes her to commit adultery.
Even that, I'm like, man, let me make sure. Because last time I went too fast. Look at saving the cause, causes her to commit adultery. Yep, that makes sense. If you put her away, and if you're just putting her away without the bill of divorce, then you're going to cause this woman to commit adultery. That makes perfect sense. You got right? Does that make sense to you so far?
So far, yeah.
According to the Torah, guys. This is not according to Elder Kabir. This is according to the Torah. That makes perfect sense so far, because they're two different things. If you just put her away, you're causing this woman to commit adultery. You put her in a position to commit adultery. Okay, read.
And whosoever shall marry her that is divorced committeth adultery.
Okay, right there. Now, this is what you got me doing this.
Yeah.
I'm scratching my head. Some of you guys may be just listening. I'm scratching my head. Huh? Jesus said that? So whosoever shall marry her that is divorced commit adultery? Whoa. Time out. Something ain't making sense, because I know Jesus wouldn't have said that, because he loved the law. He says, think not I've come to change the law, to destroy the law. That's what he says, think not. And now this thing is saying divorce. How the hell did that get into the text? Somebody is lying. Who translated this stuff? We need to find out who translated this stuff. This has got to be off the chain. Because when I read the Torah, it says that if you get a divorce, you're free to remarry. Now you're telling me that whoever back in the days when you got a bill of divorce and you marry, you were committing adultery? Somebody is lying. Now you can go in there, look behind the English word, and you would see that it's putting away, really.
And we showed that last week.
We showed that last week. So you go do your homework. I'm not going to do everything for you, because I don't want you guys to be shallow and you water somebody so much there's no roots. So you need to go out and look for yourself. So go do the research. But that should not be there. There's something wrong. It should be red flag alerts. Red alert. Something is off. Why? Because that's not what the Torah says. How the hell is a divorced woman committing adultery? And whosoever shall marry her that is divorced commit adultery. How is that? The guy gave her a bill of divorce. He put it in her hands. He sent her out. She is released from her contract. She can go play for another team. I use that because I used to play football. But she could be another man's wife now. That's not committing adultery. That's assertion right there. So you got to use common sense and look. Is that right?
Mistranslation.
It's a mistranslation. It's got to be. It's got to be. For sure, I can tell you this. This verse and the Torah is contradicting each other. There's a contradiction there. And they said the Bible has no contradiction. Well, I'm showing you there's a contradiction here. Because I know Jesus wouldn't. I just showed you. Jesus says, think that I've come here to change the law. He didn't. So that's a mistranslation right there. That's what I'm saying. And if I'm wrong, show me that I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I,
because the Bible can contradict. So when it does seem like it's contradicting, there's got to be more research.
You got, and I'm filtering, and the reason why I say this has got to be the wrong translation or how they did this is because I'm taking this and filtering through the Torah. I'm not doing. See, Christians, what they do is they take the Old Testament, what they call the Old Testament, and filter it through the gospel. They try to get the gospel. They try to get the Torah and the law and the prophets to fit the gospel, which they actually came in there and did their crafty work and changed some stuff here. So I'm challenging that translation. I'm challenging it because I know that cannot come from the word of Yah, because he does not change. He's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. All right. Let's read the next one. So I'm hitting it, guys. I'm not avoiding it. I'm hitting it. Now, here's another version. There's another version out there called the scripture version. And let's read what it says. I didn't write this, guys. I was going to put my own little thing, but I said, oh, perfect. There's somebody out there that sees it. So read this.
And it has been said, whosoever or whoever puts away his wife, let him give her a certificate of divorce. But I say to you that whoever puts away his wife, except for the matter of whoring, makes her commit adultery.
Makes perfect sense so far. Makes perfect sense. She's whoring. See, it doesn't say fornicate. She's whoring around, except for a matter of whoring, makes her commit adultery. Makes perfect sense. Driving with the Torah. Read.
And whoever marries a woman who has been put away commits adultery.
Now, I see this. I like this one. Why do I like it? Because it makes me feel good. Because that's what I want. No, I like it because that is in line with Deuteronomy 24, verse 1 to 4.
Exactly.
That's in line with everything we just read leading up to here. Exodus. This makes sense. That makes sense. Yep. Okay, if he's been put away and you cause her to commit adultery, yep, she will be in the situation there if she don't get that bill of divorce. That's why it says, whoever puts away a wife, let him give her a bill of divorce, a certificate of divorce. That makes sense. If you're going to put her away, give her a certificate of divorce. But I say unto you, whoever puts her away, except for a matter of whoring, makes her commit adultery. And whosoever marries a woman who has been put away, not divorced, put away, commits adultery. That is the scripture version. Go look it up. It's right there. I can't make this thing up.
Yeah.
I can't make it up. All right, let's go. Verse 9. Okay, this is Matthew 19:9. Somebody's challenged me on this. Oh, you didn't talk about Matthew 19:9. Here we are. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to break it down based off of what I told you about the Torah. I filter everything through the Torah and the prophet, the law and the prophet, aka Old Testament.
Exactly.
Everything gets filtered through that book. That is way more history than the New Testament. The New Testament is this smaller version, and it's not even as old as the Torah, the one that God wrote with his own hands, spoke it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery. And whoso marrieth her which is put away doth commit adultery.
So this is the King James Version. And I'm reading this stuff, and I'm doing one of these again. I'm scratching my head if you guys can't see it. I'm scratching my head. This is a head scratcher. You saying that whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another. Who are they talking about? That's confusion. It leaves you confused. Because I don't know, are you talking about the man marry another woman? I mean, a man marrying another woman is committing adultery? Well, that doesn't make sense, because the only way, are you saying that if the man marry another woman, is the woman he's marrying another man's wife? Then that's committing adultery. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Or are you saying that if you put this woman away, and if she marries another, if she's the one that's marrying another, then she's committing adultery? Okay, that makes sense. But the way this thing is written right now, it's not making sense. I mean, Deacon, does that make sense to you, or am I reaching here?
We're in the same book, and it's showing a contradiction in the same book.
Within the same book, within Matthew, there's a contradiction. Yeah. There's literally a contradiction in the book of Matthews, from 5 to 19. So you don't have to use the Torah. Even within itself, it's confusing.
Yeah,
And God is not the author of confusion. I should not be confused. When I read the Torah, that was so smooth, so easy. I could understand it. I could read it to my children. If I had one of my boys read this right now, had one of the children read this right now, they would be confused. I'm confused, and I'm a grown-ass man. It's got me scratching my head. I'm like,
God's not the author of confusion.
He's not the author of confusion. So when I'm confused, then I know Satan is involved. Something is going on here. This is where you guys have to use autonomy. This is what Pastor be taught. Use self-autonomy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even just take my word for it. You go do the research. You do the research.
That's it.
But this is not making sense. So let's go. So then guess what? I come up with now. This is my opinion.
It was the KGB
from everything I just showed you. So this is the KGB version, okay? Not the KJV. This is the KGB version, okay? KGB. If there was a KGB version, this is how it would be written. This particular passage. And I did put it in brackets to show that I'm inserting this in here. And this is the insertion that I would make, the translation I would make to make that statement right in line with Torah. I'm just trying to get in line with Torah. I'm not trying to get this in line with me and how I feel. So let's see what the KGB version have to say. And I tell you, this is my opinion. This is not official, and because the Romans are not going to support this version. The LGBT is not going to. The Christians are not going to support this version. But this is another version. If we as elders come together and we will scratch our head and look, man, you have a point there. Let's look at the Torah. Let's look at the prophets. Let's look at let's look at all the stuff in here, and let's see if this is in line. That's what they would do. Not just come up here and say, well, let's see how we get this to fit the Roman culture. So
hallelujah. Now,
please, Deacon, can you do the honor to read the first time ever in the history, the KGB version, right here, live?
It would be an honor.
Yes.
It would be an honor. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and if she shall marry another, committeth adultery.
That makes sense. Does that make sense to you? If she shall marry another, that makes sense because she's only been put away. She hasn't been given the bill of divorce. So she would be committing adultery. Okay, read.
And whoso marrieth her, which is put away, doth commit adultery. Just that. But you see that little word that they took out created a whole confusion. If you take that out, it's confusing. It's like, who are you talking about? Are you talking about her? Are you talking about him? Well, okay, we know the law has to do with property rights, right? You got God has his property. He's giving man property. Okay, who's being trespassed? Who's being trespassed? I mean, are you actually implying that you're trespassing against the woman? Is the man the property of the woman? Well, it can't be that because that goes against Torah. So what's really here? And this is the way you make it right. If I put in there, if he marries another, that's what they want you to think. They want to keep it neutral, make it neutral, make it think like it could be he or him. It could be both. It
could be both.
It's for both.
For both, but it's not for both. That is specific to the title of the woman. Her status is what determines if it's adultery or not.
According to Torah, yeah.
That's according to the Torah. So that little thing all of a sudden make that whole thing right now. Now, if you took that and you lined that up with Deuteronomy 24, you'll say, yep, that makes sense. I can have my sons, the children here. I think the oldest is 10, go all the way down. They can all read and say, yep, that makes sense. That goes in line with Torah. No. So, hey, we will see. Maybe Pastor will get on me and say, don't be putting out no KGB version. But I told you, this is my opinion. This is my research. And I'm letting you know there's no version out there, but this is the KGB version. That's how I'm inserting in my head. Okay, that makes sense because I'm trying to line up with the Torah, which I just showed you.
We need to get a print copy of this.
Yeah, we get a print copy. So, all right.